All right, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, but let's get right to it. First, I want to give a shout out to my brother who hooked me up with some swag. The SM58 microphone just had its anniversary. It's a microphone that's been around since the 1960s, and there was a big to-do with his company. So I just wanted, they hooked me up with a free shirt, so I just wanted to say thank you for the free shirt. So this is story time. This is something new, and what I wanted to talk about today was this time. As an actor, you get a chance to do different things throughout your whole career, and I never really turn anything down. It's very rare. Maybe a commercial or something for something I don't support, but I very rarely turn anything down. And I was working on Eastbound and Down. I worked on season 1, season 3, and season 4. Season 2 they shot in Puerto Rico, so I didn't go on that one. But I was in the production office for season 1, and we're an episode or so in filming, and the call kind of went out to the casting people to find someone who could be Danny McBride, Kenny Powers, his butt, and take a hypodermic needle in the butt. For a Rocky montage type scene that takes place in 3 episodes. And the casting people were like, no, we're not asking any actor to give themselves a real needle in the butt and pump, you know, what looks like steroids, like saline, into the butt. But you know, David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, I guess they were very adamant that this is something that they wanted. You sure you could find somebody that could do that? No, we're not going to look for anyone to do that. We're not going to ask anybody to do that. You can find a fake needle. They make fake needles that do the whole thing for movies and television. No. So we're in the production office, and my boss at the time, the production coordinator, says, hey, Shaun will take it in the butt. And I think he was throwing out a joke. But then I said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. No problem. I could take a needle. I could do that. And I didn't, I kind of knew what I was getting into, but, and they were like, oh, we'll just throw you $250. And you just come and you do the needle bit, and that'll what we'll do. And I was like, okay, fine, $250. I'm going to be a butt double. That's okay. It's for Danny. And but what they didn't know, what HBO and what Danny, what nobody knew, was I was okay with hypodermic needles because I had a cat. My cat at the time, who passed away not too long after I did the bit, she had diabetes, and I had been giving my cat insulin shots twice a day for 3 years. So I was very comfortable with needles. It just wasn't a big deal to me. So I was like, okay, fine. I give the needle to my cat every day. It's no big deal. I could stick it in my own butt cheek, whatever. So I go out, and they send me to hair and makeup first. And I'm like, hair and makeup? And so I go there, and what I forgot was, what I had forgotten was that Kenny Powers has like spray tan, like he's tan. And so they had to put me in a thong and spray tan so that I had a white thong line, because in the shot I had to pull my pants down and show the white like line before I stick myself in the butt with the needle. So I get to hair and makeup, and first thing they want to do is look at my butt, and they did, and they said, yep, that'll pass, that'll do just fine. And I was like, oh my God. So then sure enough, they spray tanned my butt with a thong on, and they said, okay, now go to set. So I went go to set. We were shooting in this house, and they had no place for me. I wasn't like a day player star or anything like that, so they didn't have a place for me. So I just changed up in one of the bedrooms in the house that they were doing. Now, because it takes place in 3 different episodes, I had to have 3 different colored thongs on at the time. So I had to do 3 different changes with thongs for the different episodes. And I get there and there's a doctor on set, which is really cool. And he walks up to me, he's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, hey, he says, look, everything's gonna be safe, you know? And this was the doctor that does like the physical exams of actors and stuff for insurance purposes when they first get to the show. So he was very familiar with the actors, he was very familiar with everybody, and and I had known him too because of all the other shows that I've worked on. I've seen him before, super nice guy. So he's like, look, he's like, they said, we're gonna do 5 takes. We've got 5 needles. And he pre-prepped them clean because he's a doctor. They were perfect, you know, and they had saline solution in them so that when the plunger goes down, you could see the saline going through the needle. So I'm like, okay. So he shows me the needle that I'm going to use in the close-up before it goes in, and it's like a 6-gauge needle. Like, because of the camera, they needed to be able to pick up the needle. It was like thick. It was like really thick. And so I was freaking out a little bit, you know, but then I was like, okay, well, this isn't the one that's going in me. I think the one that I finally put in me was a 14-gauge needle. And so here I am, spray tan butt, and the camera, you know, I think Timor was working the camera that day or something, because this was like an insert shot. So anyway, they get really close up on my butt, and the doctor's like, okay, here's your first needle, I get it. And you know, the funny thing is, like, when they yelled action, you know, they're rolling, action. They yelled action like you never saw grown men all around turn away squeamishly from looking at what we were doing. I mean, needles freak people out like you wouldn't believe. And so here I am, and I take the first needle and boom, I go in. I pull the thong down, and I go right in the cheek, and I press really slow. Perfect. Pull the needle out. Boom, done. Take 1's done. Great. All right, awesome. I was like, and after I did it, I was like, oh, I didn't feel anything. This is a joke, you know. I got $250 coming to me. This is good stuff. So take 2 comes around. Boom, right in again. Changed into another thong. Take 3 comes around. And the doctor comes up to me and goes, Shaun, he's like, you know, I've noticed that the first 2 times you went in, you know, you're starting to go a little crooked when you go in. And if you don't go right into the fat, if you go in crooked, when you pull that needle out, you know, you're going to draw blood. So don't do that, okay? Just go straight in so you don't hurt yourself. And, you know, we don't see that you're getting like a red irritation in the spot where you're putting the needles in. So, but when he said that, the first thing I thought of was, oh, okay, all right, this next one, I'm going to go in a little crooked, a little sideways, and I'm going to draw blood. So sure enough, I go in sideways, pow, and as I pulled it out, I pulled out the needle real slow, so it kind of pulled the skin with it, and then snapped the skin back, and then sure enough, blood came out. And from over in Video Village, which is where the producers, directors, everybody just hangs out in Video Village, and they're watching the monitors. All you hear, and I don't know if it was David Gordon Green or if it was Danny, but all I heard was, "Fuck yeah!" And so I was like, "Yes, I did it. So anyway, we did 2 more takes and all that stuff, and I'm done. So I'm done with this thing. So I go back to the production office. Oh, I'm gonna give it $250, no big deal. I get to be Danny McBride's stunt butt double for Eastbound and Down. So, you know, I'm like, I got bragging rights. This is good. But HBO kind of found out what I had done, and I don't know what exactly transpired after that, but they looked at it as like a stunt bit, and were kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe we just had somebody do that with real needles. So, make a long story short, I wind up getting a day player contract for like 3 episodes. So the $250 bit wind up being like $3,000, which was fine because it helped me out with my mortgage over the holidays, which was great. And, you know, SAG contract, the whole 9 yards. And I've been getting residuals since 2009. I still get residuals to this day for being Danny McBride's stunt butt double. And it was just one of those things that happen in your career that, you know, you look back on and you can laugh and all that kind of stuff. And you know, it's just one of those things that I've always enjoyed telling that story to people. And the whole time for the rest of the run of season 1, people would walk up to me and call me, they'd say, Ass Man. Oh, it's the Ass Man. That's the Ass Man. And it was kind of an ongoing joke, which was fine. I mean, it was pretty hysterical. But yeah, so that's my Eastbound and Down story. I loved working on that show, season 1, season 3, and then a little bit on season 4. I worked in a different department other than production office. I was in transportation on that one. And I've just, looking back at a lot of the shows and stuff that I've worked on, that was just, I just had so much fun. That was just a fun show all together. Everybody that was on that, the producers, all the way down. I mean, there was never a sour apple in the bunch. Everybody was always laughing and going hysterical on set. So good stuff, man. Good memories. I really enjoyed working on Eastbound and Down. And that's the story of how I became Danny McBride, Kenny Powers' stunt butt double. So I just wanted to, I'm going to do this, a series of this, of lots of different stories that are funny, good memories from movies and TV shows that I've worked on, as just a supplemental little thing that I'm going to do. Did you guys like Eastbound and Down? Because I know I did. Let's talk about it in the comments section, and we'll see you on the next story time.